Hello everyone, this is Rose from Untwist Your Stitches. I am filming on May 6th and this is my updates for what I did in April. There's a lot to show you, so this one will be longer than some of the ones that I've recently filmed. I wanted to say thank you to all my new subscribers. I've had quite a few in the last couple of weeks, and I really appreciate you coming and watching my channel. I hope that you're finding things that are interesting for you to watch, and maybe some inspiration or some ideas on things that you can do with your own stitching. I have several different crafting well, I've got quilting, I've got crocheting, I've got some painting, I've got some embroidery, so there's more than just cross stitch today. So let's get started because this one's gonna be pretty long. What I like to start out with always are my finishes, and I have an FFO. You've seen this finish in a previous video, but I didn't have the frame that I wanted, and this isn't exactly the frame that I wanted to do with it, but what I had in my mind I couldn't find, so I had to go with what options there were available. I found this wooden frame at Hobby Lobby in the wood section, and this is how I finished it. I also found the flowers and the butterflies were from Hobby Lobby, and then I had this stuff up here just in my stash from previous finishes. So this is, let's see, let me get my information for you. It's on 16 count ancient by Picture This Plus. I used Classic Colorworks Blue Beatrice for the main blue. I used Gentle Arts Mistletoe, and I used DMC 792. So those are the colors that were used, and this is a Christmas present for my son and his wife for this year. So I'm very happy to have had this finished and ready to go. It'll be able to be hung on the wall, or I will tell them where to get those frame stands that you can just put on the back if they don't want to hang it on their wall. So it can be either or. The next thing I'm going to show you is I have several what I call, okay, so FFO is fully finished object. Did I say that? I hope so. The next thing is what I call a staff, which is start and fully finished. So I've got two more Christmas presents that I've finished, one for each one of my sisters. And okay, here's the first one. And let's see. There we go. I like it where it's a steady light. But I did the cross stitching, and then I mounted it on a board with a backing, and I added all of this other. Now this frame came with a bow and the pine needles and these gold balls. But the other stuff I found either in my stash or when I went to Hobby Lobby and got some more things. These stars are just wooden stars that I got off Amazon. I wanted this one up here as the guiding star to the nativity. I painted them all with a gold metallic spray paint, and then I found these gold, what do you call it? Just charms. The white cross was also something that I found in Hobby Lobby, along with this pretty charm here. And then the little charm at the top says hope. So this one I did for one sister. And this one, a little bit different, but still the same. Again, I like the steady lights. I don't like the flashers. It's the exact same chart, but I use the colors in the opposite colorway. What I mean by that is you'll see one's lighter and one's darker. And then again, these were just things that I had in my stash that I thought worked well. And the ribbon is different. And then the star. But each one of those is for a different sister as their Christmas present. And okay, so the information on that is the pattern is Oh Holy Night by New Creations on Etsy. It was stitched on a 32 count Brain Fog by Mystic Stitches. The variegated or the variant floss that I used was DMC 4022. The lighter colored blue was from Roxy Floss Co.'s One of a Kind, what do you call it? Club, when they were still doing that. And it is Sour Slushy. And the gold in there, or the yellow, whatever one you want to call it, is a May 2022 Silk of the Month from Silks for You. So those are that's the information I have on that. Let's see. The next thing are my 3 sheep virtues that I started and fully finished. So, let me get this. I am doing the sheep virtues, but I am doing them with some other squares to add in to give it a little more. I'll show you the whole piece when I'm done explaining each one, but I'm using a couple of other charts to go along with the sheep virtues. So this one is a modification that I did of, let's see, it is Grandma's Quilt from the Farmhouse series, the Farmhouse Christmas series. I did the original on the other side, and then I wanted another one, but they only had one that was in this style. So I just moved it around and did a few modifications to make this square. The next one is Gratitude. Now Gratitude has 4 sheep, but no other sheep virtue has that. So to me it looked a little odd. What I did is I took out 2 of the sheep, and from, I can't remember which one of the winter Farmhouse Christmas charts that I used, but I found this wagon that I thought would work very well with that. I changed the colors on it. It was more, it had some pumpkins or something in it, so I changed the colors, but I thought it worked very well with this. And the third one is Peace. Now Peace is done exactly as it was charted. And I will move back a little bit and I'll open it up and show you my entire piece. So there's what it's going to look like. Over here, I have one more square to put in. I think it's the Courage Virtue. In the center, I've got a design that I found off the internet that has some sheep with a sheepdog. And then you'll notice that this one is a little bit different. I didn't like the green that I used for the grass, so I took all the grass out and I'm going to restitch that. But once I do that, this will be finished. And it will be hung in 2 long frames on my wall. But I'm getting very, very close. I hope that the next time I have this out, I can completely finish this and have it as a fully finish. So that is my third, well, I count each one of these squares as a finish on its own because it does complete the chart, and each chart was sold separately. So I feel it's okay that I can do that where I'm counting each one as a finish on its own. Oh, so let's see. This is stitched on 16 count antique French lace, or is it just French lace? I think it might just be French lace. And I am doing the I Spy game with Laura from Stitching by the Shore. And this one gave me a few of the prompts that she puts out. Number 2 starts with a L. And of course, baby sheep are called lambs. So that's the lambs. Something with a horn. Again, sheep have horns. And number 8, hops. So I was having a hard time with hops, but when you're counting sheep, they jump over a fence. So they hop over the fence. So I use that. I know it's a little bit sketchy on that, if that one works or not, but it worked for me. And Laura is very good at allowing you to get really creative with her prompts. And finally, number 9 is something with a wheel. And because I modified gratitude and put a wagon on it, wagons have wheels. So I was able to get number 9, something with a wheel. So those are the 4 prompts that worked for Sheep Virtues. Now, the next thing, this is a different video. I've already given these away to the person that I made them for. So I'll put a video in and let you watch that. And then when I come back, I'll explain a little bit more. First one is this. It's the plate, the 2 plates and cup. Then we've got the teapot with the cream and sugar. And finally, we have the pitcher with the drinking glasses. And I did them in what I consider, what my version of a rainbow color colors would be. So it's pink, yellow, green, blue, and purple. And I just think they're really cute. Okay, so those were done on flour sack tea towels. And they were done in just random colors of DMC. The person that I did them for, she didn't want them in her favorite color. She just wanted them randomly. So I picked a bunch of different colors that were bright and fun. And the other thing about that is for the I Spy game, that one was something that makes me laugh. And those little cups and saucers running around in the hills and everything, they really did make you smile and laugh. So that was the prompt for number 5 on I Spy with Laura. The next thing I have is I made a wedding gift for my great niece. We're going to her wedding in August. They're getting married in Alaska. So we're going to be going up there for the wedding. And I made this gift for them. I found this frame on Amazon. I found the hearts on Etsy. And then all of the other stuff I had myself. These paper flowers, you saw those once before in one of my videos where I was showing you the different things that you could make with these rolled paper flowers. And then I had this in my stash as just something. Her colors are earth tones, so yeah, this is what I went to do earth tones for her wedding gift. But that's that. Now another thing that I have is I did some sewing this month. So give me 1 second. I'll pause it for a minute. I've got to reach over. I can't quite reach what I have over there. But give me a minute. I'll be right back. Right. So, like I said, I've been doing some sewing. And I was given these patterns from a friend. She thought that I would enjoy doing them. And I have made this patchwork squirrel. He's so fun. I just love him. And because I wanted a patriotic squirrel for my patriotic wall. You saw these guys in the beginning montage where they sit in my room. So, but yeah, he's holding a little flag. He's got his star eyes. The one on this side you can't see very well because it was on a, I didn't realize it was going to be on a white square, but it doesn't really matter because he's just too cute. And then I made these. So this is the original size of the pattern. Very small, very fidgety to work with. I increased that size by 33%, and this is the size that it came out. So these were the first 2 that I made. And they were also in the montage at the beginning of the video. And these were the second 2 that I made. Now in the pattern, it just shows you to do it like this. Just the one fabric. But I wanted to get a little creative and give them a little bit of a head, so I put the dark color on the front of them. And I can't decide. Now, ladybugs come in different colors, so I thought maybe this could be my yellow ladybug and this could be a bee, but it kind of still looks like a bee a little bit. So those are some of my sewing that I've done this year. When I was painting the stars for the nativity scene that I'm giving to my sisters, I also did some other painting. As long as I had my paint out and my table covered with paper, I figured let's get some of these other things done. These are going to be displays for some of my upcoming stitching. So that is why I decided to go and do that. But aren't these cute? They're so adorable. They're from Paisley and Polka Dots. and you can find them on their website. They come unpainted, so you decide what colors you want to use and how you want them to look. This one's supposed to have a little bit of a gobble going down here, but I didn't like the way that it looked, so I left it off. And I think it looks just fine. And then there's this larger, and there's a circle, another circle that goes here. So you can put your stitching on that and attach it, and it'll just sit like this. So that's why I'm not too worried about the little scuff mark I got on him. But yeah, this is another one of my displays. And it's also a paisley and polka dot, as is this. Now this one, I don't know what I'm doing wrong with the crackle paint, but I'm doing something wrong and it's just not coming out. So this is this display, and I decided instead of gluing it on, I was going to take and use magnets so that when I change out my cross stitching, I can also change out my border. So I've got a blue and I've got the green, and it's just really fun. So I can use it in with a couple different designs that are coming up in my stitching, and that will be for that. And I don't think, let's see, is there anything? I don't think there's anything else that is fully finished. So now we're going to move into the whips. Next thing I'm going to show you, I'm not going to be able to hold it up just because it's not in a way that I can really hold it. I am going to just show you a picture, and as the picture goes, I will explain. So this is a log cabin pattern that I am sewing in different colors, browns. I'm not sure who's going to get it. It might go to my grandson. It might go to somebody else. I'm not sure. But I am putting it together and getting it ready to... It's very close. It's very, very close. So there's not too much left to do, but it's just different browns and whatnot that I think are just beautiful together. And the other thing that I have to show you is I have been working on my crochet project. I've got the main design of it completed, and this is going to be hard to show you. Yeah, it's not really showing up very well. I'll put a picture in of it, but it's Mary Maxon's design. I've had it for years and years and years, and finally just decided that it needed to be completed. This is what it'll look like eventually. And I've got the main heart shape completed, and I'm starting to work on the border, the frilly border. And it's going to take a long time. I'm definitely cutting the border down. I'm not making it quite as wide as what they did, but yeah, I'm working on that. So it's going to take a while to get around that, because there's 435 stitches each round around the outside of that. So fun times, but it is working. The reason that it takes so long is I only work on it one day a week, and that is usually on Tuesdays when I go in and meet up with a couple of friends, and we all stitch together at the local craft store. They have an area set up where you can come in and do your crafting and whatnot. That's where I found the paper flowers that I use in my other craft. So yeah, it's just a fun time. And we sit together for a couple of hours. So I get 2 hours of stitching done, but you're also visiting and you're looking at all the other stuff. So sometimes you don't get as much done as you think you're going to. But I do work on that not every Tuesday, because I don't go in every single Tuesday, but a lot of the time I'll be in there and be crocheting with them. And that's how that one's going. So it's kind of a traveling project, but not really. All right, let's get back to cross stitching. My next piece, I am going to be doing something a little bit different. I picked it up from Katherine of Accounting Your Stitches. This is how she does it when she's doing her videos, and I think it works really well. She'll put a picture up of what the pattern is. She'll put a picture up of what it looked like when she started working on it for this session, and then she shows you the stitching that she has completed. So that's what I'm going to do. So up here is, hopefully I'll get it right, we'll put in the finished piece and my progress that you saw previously. And this is how far I have gotten. This is a pattern called Pumpkin Quakers from Hello by Liz Mathews. And I am doing mine differently because I've brightened mine up. This first pumpkin is worked in Trick or Treat by Weeks Dye Works. The yellow pumpkin was done in Squash by Weeks Dye Works. And this one here down on the end is Harvest by Weeks Dye Works. The green border down here that you see is Pepper Pot Silk. The color is Jade. And it is on 28 count Joblin, and the fabric is called Orange Sherbet. So this one was part of the I Spy, and it was number 7 and something in a book title. And I'm going to pop a picture up. My grandson, one year for Halloween, we went to a pumpkin patch and they were selling these books. It's Spookly the Square Pumpkin. And they're really kind of funny and just you know, silly things to read to him. So that is where I got something in the title of a book. The next thing, this is the pattern and how it should look finished. This is where I was the last time you saw it. And we have Gathering Acorns by Cottage Garden Sampling. It is on 28 count Toast Linen by Be Stitch Me. And so far I've pretty much used all of the colors that are called for, except the grays that were called for I wasn't really impressed with. So I changed them to my Roxy Floss Co. One of a Kind threads, and I used the lighter color is called Skipper. There's two grays in here. You may not be able to see them, but the lighter color is Skipper and the darker color is Cliffhanger. And this is how far I've got on him. I'm doing him 3/3. 3 strands of floss over 3 threads, because I want him to be bigger. I didn't want him to be smaller. And I got quite a bit done on him. So let's see. For the I Spy, Number 1 is something shaped like a diamond, and you can see all of these little designs in here are diamond shaped, or what I'm calling a diamond shape. Something that you find in a garden. Well, of course, some people find squirrels in their garden. The color gray, and those are right here that I told you about. And something that gets blown in the wind. Well, acorns get blown off trees in the wind, and that's how they start a new acorn tree. So that is what I am using this one for. And that was number 10. So I was able to get all 10 prompts from Laura's I Spy game, and I was really impressed with myself because normally I don't play games, but this one I decided that I would give it a go and see what I could, how many I could get. And this, I've got all 10 of her prompts. All right. And finally, my last whip, of course, is Christmas Cottage by Heaven and Earth, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. The artwork is Dona Gelsinger. And I almost finished another page. I was very pleased with my progress. There's not as much confetti. There's still a little bit of confetti, but there's not nearly as much down on the bottom with all of the snow. So let me show you the entire piece, and then I'll bring up close where I worked. Okay, so there's the entire piece, and of course the part that I worked on is down there. Now, I know you're not supposed to show charts, and if this was a smaller chart, I would never show it to you. But I wanted to show you that when I started for the week, this entire page was blank, and all I have left is these few stitches right in there to get a page finish. So the next time that I pull it out, I will definitely finish this page, and then I'll go on to my next one. But I'm really, really happy with the progress I'm getting, and I'm getting really excited because I do believe, I really, really believe that I am going to get this pattern completed this year, 2026. I'm fighting for it. Definitely in July, I would like to pull it out twice for Christmas in July. Maybe the first week or actually no, because, well, we'll just see. We'll just see how it works. But I would like to give it 2 weeks of work, and I will split it up because after a while you get just a little bit burned out with those huge pages that you're doing. Okay, so let's move on. Postal Prizes. I just have one this month. I thought I had bought more, but I always put my stuff in one area so that I can show you guys before I put it away, and this was all that was in that area. This is my fabric of the month. It's from the Digi Stitchery. The fabric is 32 count linen, and it's called Watermelon. And this is what it looks like. I think it's showing up pretty much the color that it is. And what I want to do is, I've had this pattern for a while, but I didn't know what to put it on. I got it off Etsy, and I think that it would look fabulous on this fabric. So when I get a few more finishes, then it'll come into my rotation, and you'll be seeing that sometime in the near future, or hopefully, if I get some more finishes done, which We shall see. Alrighty, like I said, that's my only that is my only purchase for this month that I could find. I thought I had, well, I mean, technically, some of the things that I put in on the presents for my sisters, those were purchases this month, but yeah. Okay. This is going a lot faster than I thought it would. Did I tell you? Oh, let's go back to Christmas Cottage. It is being stitched on 16 count light dove gray, and it is all the called for DMC floss, because there's just no way you could change the colors in a Heaven and Earth design or something like that. They're just too big, and the colors are put there for a very specific reason, to give you the depth of the chart. So we're going to go on to name dropping. And these are, of course, are not all of the floss tubes that I watch, but they're ones that are recently watched, and maybe you haven't seen them for a little while, so you can go and check them out. Melanie and Michael from Uplift Stitches, and they had quite a few, well, Melanie had quite a few finishes in their last floss tube. Michael had quite a few whips in there, so she had finishes, he has whips. Kirsten from Your Average Cross Stitcher, she just did her latest monthly update, and she has some really cool larger projects. You know, she doesn't seem to do the small stuff. She likes those big projects and the fancy ladies and Nora Corbett and that kind of stuff. So give her a look. We have to mention Karen and Karen. Karen, the Twitchy Stitcher, and Karen, the Stitching Owl. And they also occasionally get together. And that one is called, when they're together, it's called Y2K. Your Two Karens. So yeah, go and give them a look. They recently got together and did a video. And then Brenda has done 2 videos. She is Handwork Maniac, and she put out 2 really, really amazing videos this last time. So give her a look and see if she has anything that interests you, and be sure to like and comment. If you have any questions whatsoever, give me a comment in my videos. I always go and look several times to see if there's anything that somebody has asked me, or any kind of information that they wanted to give me. But you're not going to see me in June. June is a very busy month for me. I'm going down the 1st to pick up my grandson from California, and he's going to come up and he's going to stay until the 19th. And then I'm going to take him back to his mom. And while I'm down there, I want to visit a couple of my stitching friends that are down there. We've been talking back and forth, and we really want to get together. So I'm probably going to be down there for another week, which pretty much covers the entire month of June. I wanted to thank Sarah from Sarah's Stitchy Spot. She does a Zoom meeting every other week. I believe it's every other week. And you put your name in on her videos. If you want to join in her meetings, she offers it to 10 people. She picks 10 names and then sends you out a Zoom meet link, and you get together for a couple of hours. And she usually has a surprise guest come in, and shares the time with us. And I was really excited, as was everybody else, that this time the special secret guest was Pam and Steph from Just Keep Stitching. And it was so fun. It was just really a nice, intimate talk to each other, get to know each other a little bit better. I believe that's where some of my new subscribers have come from, maybe. And it's just really a great time. So I wanted to make sure I thank Sarah and I thank Pam and Steph for joining that Zoom and being a part of that really special Saturday afternoon. But I will be back in July, and I will be having lots to show you, because I do still think that there will be stitching in June that needs to be shown, and there will be stitching in May that needs to be shown. So don't worry, I will have lots of stuff to show you. It's just, it will not be until July before you get the update for these last 2 months. Now, I may do extra Flosstube towards the end of the month here in May, because I've got 20 or more questions similar to the Q&A that Sparkle Stitcher, Stitchy Sparkles. Oh, I can't remember her name. I'll put it across the bottom here when I'm doing my editing. But she did 28 questions and asked everybody to join along with that. And then there's at least 20 or 22 more questions that were asked that I came up with to ask about. So I'm going to do that. And, it's just a way of getting to know each other here on Flosstube a little more intimately, a little more in depth of what we like, what we don't like, why we like those things. So I'll probably be doing that towards the end of May. So you can at least look forward to something like that. But in the meantime, happy stitching, and just smile, because every day there's something to smile about. Thank you. Bye.